Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of body language. Have you ever been puzzled by a woman's actions, wondering if she's interested or not? It's like trying to decipher hieroglyphics sometimes. But don't worry, I've got your back. We're going to decode 10 nervous actions that secretly scream, "Hey, I kinda like you." So, if you're ready to become a master detective of love, keep those peepers glued right here. This is gonna be fun. Okay, first up, we've got the classic hair twirl. It's one of those subtle yet captivating gestures that can say so much without uttering a single word. She might twirl a strand around her finger, tuck it behind her ear, or even just play with it a bit. Each of these actions can be a subconscious way of drawing attention to herself, almost like a silent invitation to notice her. It's like she's subconsciously trying to get your attention, like, "Hey, look at my amazing hair." This can be especially true if she's smiling or making eye contact while doing it. Now, I'm not saying that every time a woman touches her hair, she's into you. Sometimes it's just a habit or a way to feel more comfortable in a social setting. Maybe she's just got a little bit of wind-blown frizz going on, or perhaps she's just making sure her hair looks good after a gust of wind. But if you notice her doing it consistently when you're around, well, it might be a sign that you've got her heart racing a little bit. This repeated action can be a telltale sign of nervous excitement. And let's be honest, who doesn't love a little hair play? It's playful, it's flirty, and it can be incredibly charming. It shows that she's a little bit nervous, a little bit excited, and maybe even a little bit smitten. These emotions can make her more endearing and approachable. So, next time you're chatting with a woman and you see her reaching for those locks, pay attention. It could be her way of signaling that she's interested in you. It might just be the green light you've been waiting for. A subtle yet powerful indication that she's open to getting to know you better. But remember, guys, be cool. Don't jump to conclusions or make any hasty moves. Just keep it cool, keep the conversation flowing, and see where things go. Sometimes the best connections happen when you least expect them. All right, moving on to chapter 2, we're talking about nervous laughter. You know that sound, right? It's like a cross between a giggle and a snort, and it's absolutely adorable. When a woman laughs at your jokes, even the ones that are so bad they make you cringe, it's a good sign. But here's the thing about nervous laughter. It's usually a little higher pitched than her normal laugh. It means she cares. So if you're telling a joke, even if it's a real groaner, and you hear that telltale nervous laughter, don't be discouraged. It might just be her way of saying, "I'm totally into you." Okay, this one might seem a little counterintuitive, but trust me on this. It's a subtle yet powerful sign that often goes unnoticed. Avoiding eye contact can actually be a sign that she's interested. Yes, you heard that right. It's not always about disinterest or shyness. I know it sounds crazy, right? But there's a psychological reason behind it. You'd think that someone who likes you would want to stare into your eyes all day long, and in some cases that's true. But here's the thing. When we're attracted to someone, it can be a little overwhelming. The intensity of emotions can make us feel vulnerable. Our palms get sweaty, our hearts race, and suddenly we forget how to make eye contact like a normal human being. It's a natural response to feeling nervous or excited. So she might avert her gaze, look down at her feet, or even pretend to be fascinated by the wallpaper. It's a way to manage the overwhelming feelings. But don't be fooled. It's all a big act. She's trying to hide her true feelings. If you catch her sneaking glances at you when she thinks you're not looking, it's a surefire sign that she's smitten. Those quick glances are telling. It's like she can't help but steal little glances your way, even if it means risking getting caught. It's her way of staying connected without being too obvious. Chapter 4. Touching her face or neck. Now, I'm not talking about anything inappropriate here, people, but when a woman is attracted to you, she might subconsciously touch her face or neck while she's talking to you. It's like she's drawing attention to these areas, which, let's be honest, are pretty darn attractive. These subtle movements are her body's way of releasing nervous energy and trying to get your attention. So if you're noticing her hands fluttering around her face or neck, don't be afraid to turn up the charm a little bit. She's clearly feeling something, and it might just be the start of something special. Chapter 5. Playing with objects. Have you ever noticed a woman playing with objects when she's around you? It might seem like a small, insignificant action, but it can actually reveal a lot about her feelings. Maybe she's fiddling with her phone, scrolling through apps or messages, seemingly distracted. Or perhaps she's twisting a ring on her finger, adjusting her jewelry as if to keep her hands busy. She might even be doodling on a napkin, drawing little shapes or patterns absent-mindedly. Well, guess what? It could be a sign that she's got a little crush on you. These small actions can be her way of dealing with nervous energy. When we're nervous or excited, our bodies have a funny way of showing it. We might bite our lips, look away, or even blush. And sometimes, that manifests as fidgeting with whatever happens to be in our hands. It's a subconscious way to channel our emotions. So, if you're chatting with a woman and she's constantly playing with her phone, don't automatically assume she's bored or uninterested. She might actually be very interested in what you're saying, but her nerves are getting the best of her. She might just be trying to keep her cool because, well, she thinks you're pretty cool. Her nervous laughter or flustered look can be a giveaway. It's just your body's way of saying, hey, I think this person is pretty great. So next time, pay attention to these little signs. They might just reveal more than words ever could. Chapter 6, Higher-Pitched Voice. You know how sometimes when you're talking to someone you're attracted to, your voice gets all high-pitched and squeaky? Like you suddenly sound like a chipmunk who's had way too much coffee? Well, guess what? Women do it too. When we're around someone we like, our bodies release hormones that can actually make our vocal cords tighten, resulting in a slightly higher pitch. So if you notice that her voice seems a little higher than usual when she's talking to you, don't be alarmed. It's just her body's way of saying, hey, I think you're pretty special. So if you're hearing those high notes, consider it a good sign. Chapter 7, Mirroring Actions. Have you ever noticed that when you're talking to someone, they start to mirror your body language? It's like you're looking in a mirror, but not quite. Well, guess what? That subconscious mirroring is actually a sign of attraction. When we're interested in someone, we tend to subtly mimic their movements, posture, and even their tone of voice. So if you're sitting across from her and she crosses her legs a few seconds after you do, or if she takes a sip of her drink when you do, it's a good sign. It means she's paying attention to you and she's subconsciously trying to build rapport. Okay, let's talk about blushing. You know that adorable pink flush that creeps up on her cheeks when she's embarrassed, flustered, or, you guessed it, attracted to you? Yeah, that's right. Blushing is a dead giveaway that she's got it bad for you. When we're attracted to someone, our bodies release adrenaline, which can cause our blood vessels to dilate, including those in our cheeks, and boom, instant blush. Now, some people are naturally more prone to blushing than others, but if you notice that she seems to turn a lovely shade of crimson every time you're around, it's a pretty safe bet that you've got her heart racing. So next time you see her blushing, don't be afraid to point it out. Just be gentle and playful about it. Okay, have you ever noticed that when she's around you, she stumbles over her words a little bit? Like, she starts a sentence, then stops, then starts again, and by the end, you're not even sure what she's trying to say? Well, before you assume she's just terrible at conversations, consider this. It might be because she's totally smitten with you. When we're nervous or excited, our brains have a way of short-circuiting. So if she's normally a smooth talker but suddenly turns into a bumbling mess when you're around, don't be put off. It shows that you have the power to make her a little flustered. And that's a good thing. All right, last but not least, let's talk about lingering. You're chatting with her, the conversation is flowing, and then it's time for you to go. But she's not going anywhere. She's lingering, finding excuses to stay near you, and maybe even suggesting one more drink. Well, guess what? That's not a coincidence, my friend. That's a classic sign that she's hoping you'll make a move. She's creating opportunities for you to spend more time together, and she's making it clear that she's not quite ready for the night to end. So if you're picking up on those lingering vibes, don't be afraid to take the hint. So there you have it, folks. 10 nervous actions that secretly scream, she's totally into you. Remember, body language speaks volumes, and sometimes it's the little things that reveal the biggest feelings. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more love advice. And remember, be kind to each other, be true to yourselves, and keep on spreading the love.